Hello, everybody. My name is Nidhin Olikara, and I am a historian who specializes in the study of Mysore and Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan. I am delighted to be here speaking to you about the lives of Tipu's sons and their families in Calcutta. After Tipu fell, fighting on the 4th of May 1799, his family subjected themselves voluntarily to British captivity. They were treated rather well, and a good amount of money of 2 lakh star pagodas was kept for them as perpetual pensions. This amount of money would be given to different members of the family on basis of seniority. The family, within a month after Tipu's fall, was moved to Vellore, wherein they stayed for about 6 years. At the end of 6 years, the Sepoy Mutiny implicated 2 of the princes as providing aid to the mutineers, because of which the British felt that it was even more dangerous to keep them in the south of India and to move them to Calcutta, where they would be away from the center of their former empire. When they reached Calcutta, there were 12 princes, 3 Begums of Tipu, 2 princesses, and an extended retinue of about 300 members. Just as they reached Calcutta, the 4th prince, Abdul Khalid, passed away. He had fallen sick en route. 2 of the younger princes, the 2nd, that is Prince Mohiuddin, and the 3rd, Prince Moizuddin, who had been implicated as helping the mutineers in Vellore, were already bound in chains, and they were immediately arrested in Calcutta. They were taken to a large piece of land, the estate where they would stay for over a century and a half. That was at Roshapagla. And this place in Roshapagla was earmarked for them, wherein they were provided accommodation. A large amount of money, the same money which I mentioned, was earmarked for them in the form of pensions to each family head. This was minuted by Lord Minto, wherein he specifically established that all kinds of help would be made to the family in terms of medical help, security, guards for the 3 senior princes. He also mentioned that they were not able or allowed to move anywhere outside that estate. No correspondence from or to the estate to the princes would be entertained without being censored. Even if any of the princes had to move out after falling sick, it was with the permission of the Superintendent of Political Pensioners, a post and a department created especially for the management of affairs of the Mysore family. This correspondence is what I have been looking at over the past 3 years, intermittently, at the Department of State Central Archives in Calcutta, which is essentially the West Bengal Archives. There is a large volume of letters which have passed from the Superintendent of Political Pensioners for the Mysore princes and the family. So these letters deal with pensions, with marriages, with scandals within the family, with permissions for medical age, with permissions for hike in pensions, for subsidies for funerals, etc. There's a very early letter which deals with the funeral of Prince Karim Shah, who was Tipu's brother, and an amount of rupees 8,000 is made out for this funeral. There is a letter wherein Prince Mohiuddin, the 2nd prince, the 2nd son of Tipu, asks that his sister be married to a young boy she was engaged with in Vellore, whose brother was a mutineer, and the British object to it. There is a letter after many years wherein the Princess Nurnisa herself asks that the young man be brought for marriage to her to Calcutta, which is again objected to. Later she dies childless. There is a very interesting letter wherein the senior princess, the eldest princess, the eldest daughter of Tipu, is allowed to bring her jewelry, which stayed back in Vellore, and now she's allowed to bring it back by ship. And there are 6 cartloads of jewels and personal effects. That's very interesting. Then there are documents wherein the British ask the family members to pay salaries or wages to certain of the domestic help who have complained to the British that they have not been paid. There is a letter wherein Prince Yasin and Prince Jamauddin asked for a change of air, that they be allowed to go to Malda by boat for a month, and that permission is granted. Remember that these particular letters extend over 70 years, and they are not only for the sons of Tipu, but they go on for several generations after. These letters are extremely important, and I found them extremely important because it gives us a rare glimpse into the happenings in the household, in the private household, or the zenana of a Mohammedan noble family of that time. Among all these sons, 11 of them pass away within 30 years, essentially because of bad health, malaria. Some drank themselves to death. There are also letters which specifically say that the health of many have gone bad because of drink. Pensions were denied to them because the British felt they were spending all their money on drink and on other bad habits. The youngest of Tipu's sons, Prince Ghulam Muhammad, was extremely prudent. He saved a lot of money. He bought a lot of land. Shaw Wallace House today stands on the land that he bought for the family. There were also other trusts that he established, pensions that he gave out for the family. But over a period of time, because for almost a century, they were all within the estate. They could acquire no skills. Almost 6 generations lived there. They contributed 3 sheriffs to Calcutta. Yet, they did not see much of the outside world. It was tough on them. When they came out in the early 1900s, it was difficult getting jobs. Their dignity would not allow them. And today, a large number of the families that are there today have fallen to deep poverty. Yet, they have maintained their self-respect even today. These letters are proof of that. And they are a great insight into what more we can learn from Tipu and the later family. And I very much hope that this would also help other researchers to examine other parts of the life of Tipu and the extended family and the relationship that he had with allies, with the British, with people all over. Thank you.